Arjun lived in a small village in India, but his dreams were anything but small. While most boys his age worked in the fields or helped in shops, Arjun spent his free time building small gadgets out of scrap. Radios, toy cars, even a fan made. From a broken mobile charger, he could build anything. He had one goal: to become an engineer and make a better life for his family. His parents, who worked long hours to make ends meet, believed in him. They saved every rupee they could to pay for his coaching classes so he could take the competitive entrance exam for one of the top engineering colleges in the country. And Arjun, he studied harder than anyone else. The day of the entrance exam finally arrived. Arjun left home early, walking 5 kilometers to the nearest bus stop. But halfway there, disaster struck. A sudden landslide blocked the road. The buses were cancelled. No taxis, no autos, nothing. Panicked but determined, Arjun began to run 10 kilometers in the scorching heat, with a bag full of books and an empty stomach. By the time he reached the exam center, he was 2 hours late. They didn't let him in. He begged, he cried. But the officials shook their heads. "I'm sorry. Rules are rules," they said. As he stood outside the gate, watching other students walk out of the building with smiles and relief on their faces, Arjun felt like his entire world had collapsed. Why does life do this? I did everything right. I worked hard. I never cheated. Then why me? For days, Arjun didn't speak to anyone. He stopped eating. He stayed in his room, staring at the wall. One evening, his grandfather, who rarely spoke much, came to sit beside him. He didn't say anything at first. Then he slowly began to speak. "Do you know the story of the Chinese farmer?" he asked. Arjun shook his head. "Once, a poor farmer's horse ran away. Everyone in the village said, 'Oh no, that's terrible.' But the farmer simply said, 'Maybe.' The next week, the horse came back with 3 wild horses. Now the villagers said, 'Wow, how lucky.' But again, the farmer said, 'Maybe, later.' The farmer's son broke his leg while trying to train one of the wild horses. Everyone said, 'So unlucky.' The farmer said, 'Maybe.' A few weeks later, the army came to the village, forcing all young men to join the war. They didn't take the farmer's son because of his broken leg. Was it good? Was it bad? Who knows? What seems unfair today may be a blessing in disguise tomorrow." Arjun listened, not fully understanding, but the story stuck in his mind. Months passed. Arjun, though still heartbroken, decided not to give up. He took up odd jobs in his village, fixing electronics, helping with solar panel installations, even creating DIY solutions for irrigation problems. His innovations began to catch attention. One day, a local NGO visited the village to promote rural innovation. They saw Arjun's work and were blown away. They invited him to present his inventions at a tech summit in Delhi. Arjun's presentation went viral. People were amazed by how a boy from a remote village created working models with almost 0 resources. Offers started pouring in: scholarships, mentorships, even investors. He didn't just get into college. He got into a better one than he originally dreamed of. And not because he passed a test, but because he proved his worth to the world. Years later, Arjun stood on a TEDx stage, sharing his journey. He looked into the crowd and said, "Greater than if I had taken that exam, I might have become just another student in a classroom. But life had other plans. I thought I lost everything that day, but I didn't. I gained something far more powerful: resilience, purpose, and a story to tell. When life feels unfair, and it will remember this, sometimes not getting what you want is the best thing that can happen to you. Just hold on. Your story isn't over yet." The crowd erupted in applause, and Arjun, he finally understood why life had said no that day, because it was about to say yes in a much bigger way.